Hey guys, it's Lotus and welcome back to another video. Today, we are going to check out the Hellbound webtoon. Now, I want to check this out because the Netflix adaptation is dropping today, November 19th. So I figured before watching the drama, why not check out the source material, the webtoon? So I have only watched one trailer for the drama and it was really interesting. It's supernatural, there's gore, there's monsters, so if that's up your alley, you can check out the Netflix show. I will link it in the description, and I will link the webtoon as well. It's ongoing. It actually dropped this week, I believe. Yeah, November 15th. They dropped the first 4 chapters. Well, chapters 0 through 3. So we're going to check out the first 4 chapters today and get a feel of what the series is about. So it says here, here's a description. It says, repent or face hell on earth. In Seoul, apparitions have started appearing before those who have done wrong to notify them of when they will die. A new religious group explains these happenings as God condemning people to make them live more righteously. Detective Jin is assigned to investigate the latest incident, just as his wife's murderer is scheduled to be released from prison. So there's a lot of storylines going on. There's a supernatural element. There's also a detective mystery element. So there's probably going to be a lot of characters and intersecting plot lines and all that stuff, making it really interesting. Although I looked it up and the Netflix drama adaptation is only 6 episodes. So I wonder how much they're going to cover. I've never read the webtoon before, so we're going to check it out today. And after that, I will probably be binge watching the drama and I'll get back to you guys and let you know my thoughts. Yeah, so let's jump right into the prologue, episode 0. Let me turn on some spooky music. Warning, this episode contains depictions of violence that may be upsetting for some readers. Chapter 0. Ooh, I like the black and white color scheme. Most webtoons tend to be in color, which I really appreciate because it makes it more visually interesting and appealing. But I think that having it in black and white makes it a lot more serious and sets the tone for the type of story that we're going to read. It's a lot more spooky when it's in black and white. So it looks like we're at a cafe, maybe a Starbucks. Well, maybe. People are getting some drinks. It's pretty crowded. There's a lot of people inside the cafe. Now, it looks like people are looking at something on their phone. They're zooming in. They're watching someone with a PowerPoint. And on the PowerPoint, it says the notice. What does that say? Notices are delivered indiscriminately and without warning. The contents of the notices are simple. The recipient's name, the fact that they're going to hell, and the time they have left. This is a video of a notice being delivered in Thailand in 2014. Recipients are usually given between 3 days to as many as 20 years until their due date. Wow, can you imagine being told when you're going to die and then finding out like the exact date and like you have 10 years or something, and then would you end up just thinking about it for the rest of your life, your remaining lifetime? Like, in 10 years, my time's gonna be up. Would you believe the notice? When the time comes, the demonstration is carried out, no matter where the recipient is or what they are doing. Man, look at those terrible special effects. I don't know how he expects to con people if he's not gonna put effort into these videos. Oh, so here are some skeptics. Hey, there's a lot of people that believe in this stuff. There are tons of eyewitness videos. Give me a break. You gotta make these cult leaders work harder for their money, man. Now, flat earthers, that's a proper con job. Hey, that's just straight up pseudoscience. Ha ha ha, dude, are you even hearing yourself? Oh, there's this guy that seems to be listening to them. He looks a little nervous. He's sweating. But this stuff is based on facts. Visual effects experts all say the videos are real. Yeah, a real scam. Ahahaha. Oh man, this guy who's listening, he doesn't look so good. And I'll have you know, this guy does a lot of philanthropic work too. Okay, fine. Ooh. He's looking at his clock. It's 2 o'clock, right? 2 p.m.? Boom? Ooh, what's that booming sound? Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Ooh, it's getting louder. It's getting closer. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, wow. These, like, tall monsters just crashed through the window. Oh, this guy must be the target. Everyone can see them. I don't know why, but I assume that only the person who got the notice would be able to see these quote-unquote devilish angels or these demons when it's their time. But it looks like everyone can see them, and they're causing a lot of destruction. Ooh. Oh, wow. They, like, took a huge swing at him. And he's, sliding across the floor, clatter. There's destruction everywhere. Everyone can see them. Ooh, they're kind of like sinewy. Like, think of the Attack on Titans, like the Titans, like how they're all, like, muscle and veins and stuff. Like, they're kind of, like, skinless, I guess. And they have warped faces and sharp razor teeth. Ooh. Oh, man, this guy's done for. Ow! Oh, he doesn't look so good. Oh, he's gonna try to run. Ah! Oh my god! Hey, watch it! Ooh. Yeah, everyone can see them. They're just raining havoc on everything. They're not really subtle, huh? Everyone's trying to avoid them. Pant! Pant! No! Pant! Ooh, oh, they're gaining on him. Ooh, they can fly too? Dang. Oh, they're right above him. Slam. They landed right on the car in front of him. Please. Please. Oh, wow. They're just raining down on him. Ah! 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 Oh, ooh, 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 ew, 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 ew. Ah! Ooh. Oh wow, the poor bystanders, the people that are just in their cars trying to get to work. It's like 8 a.m. in the morning, you're tired, and you're seeing someone being bludgeoned to death right next to you. There's so many people watching. So they don't make it a secret. They're not like covertly taking people and dragging them to hell. They're like doing it out in open, like out in the daylight, right? Everyone's like taking videos and photos. Oh, they took him. They like vaporized him, right? Now they're leaving. They're just trotting back to their base, I guess. Into the shadows and the darkness, and they disappear. Ooh. That's what's left of him. They charred up his corpse, and I guess they took his soul with them. Hellbound. By Choi Gyu-sok and Yeon Sang-ho. What a nice opener. So, if I recall, that was actually the trailer that I watched. I'm acting surprised, like I wasn't expecting it. But yeah, they adapted, the trailer was an adaptation of the prologue. So it pretty much matches what I saw in the trailer. Everyone, I'm still so surprised though that everyone can see these demons. It's not just the target. So like how would they, there must be a lot of destruction in the city then. And then wouldn't it be more obvious for people to believe that this is real if so many people can see it and it's not just like a spirited away type of situation? Okay, let's continue. Chapter 1. Hellbound. Okay, looks like we're at a police station. There's someone, they're saluting. The incident occurred at precisely 1400 hours, or 2 p.m. Okay, they're doing a debriefing. They came in through the cafe wall and windows, destroying them. When did it start? Just now. You're right on time. The weapon used and exact cause of death are unclear at the moment, but it appears that the body was burned up very quickly at a very high temperature. We checked the victim's vehicle. His name was Yong-hoon Ju, age 43. He lived alone in an apartment, 15 minutes by car from the location of the incident. Wait, why is the police confused about the method of death? There were so many bystanders. They literally saw the monsters pummel him and then vaporize him. He is survived by his ex-wife, divorced 2 years, no children. Hapsong Station monster, Hapsong Station murder. Wow, all top 10 trending searches. The chief can't be in a good mood right now. There were many eyewitnesses at the scene, and there are videos of it all over the internet. What the hell is that? Honey, step on it, go! The police are just watching the videos that bystanders took. It's pretty obvious how they killed him, the method of murder. What are those? Yeah, monster murder, Hapsong Station, President Jinsu-Zhong lecture, Jinsu-Zhong news. Jinsu-Zhong, new truth. What is all this? Oh, this must be the cult leader guy who everyone was watching on their cell phones. He was the one explaining how the monsters come and take people. What are you looking at? My phone? Forget it. The New Truth Society is a relatively new religion that's been steadily growing online in recent years. The internet is all abuzz with rumors that this incident aligns with the claims of the New Truth Society, that this is a revelation from God. Also some cultish things going on. You heard him. We're not gonna let a case with this much public attention drag on. We're gonna catch these bastards fast. Got it? But sir, are they even human? I don't give a rat's ass what they are. If you're so curious, you can ask them yourself after you bring them in. Chief, you know? You say that, but if you watch the videos, you see how gigantic these monsters are, and there's many of them, and they have, fire powers. So, I don't know, man. And watch what you say to the media. Team 1, look more into the victim's background. Team 2, you're on crime scene. Jung-hoon Jin. Pyo. Sir. That religious group. They're apparently gathered near the scene of the crime. Those cultists might be involved somehow. I want you to go and poke around, but don't upset them. We don't want any trouble with the religious group. And Jin, don't you care about your promotion? I'm trying to help you out here. Could you at least act like you're doing your job? Huh? God damn it! Look alive, detective. But sir, change isn't healthy. I'm always like this. I can't change who I am. Sigh, what am I gonna do with him? Okay, so he's on the case. New Truth Society, established 9 years ago by President Jinsu-Zhong. It's fairly new, barely 10 years old. I mean, 10 years is a long time though, right? You know how many advancements happen in 10 years? No clear estimate on the number of believers. What are you even reading? A wiki article? Yeah, because Wikipedia is definitely the most accurate in terms of information and facts. I mean, I appreciate Wikipedia, but, you know, anyone can edit that stuff. It's said that the Arrowhead is composed of extremist believers of the New Truth Society. Arrowhead? Aren't those the whack jobs that dox ex-convicts online? They're in the cult too? They cause a lot of trouble offline too. And it says that according to President Jinsu-Zhong, God demands that we live righteous lives. And so these angels come and tell people the date that they're going to hell. Angels? Hell? Are you serious? So what is this? Some kind of divine retribution? Demonstrations of hell? I guess they're supposed to serve as warnings to people. What kind of grim religion is this? Whatever happened to the Holy Spirit and eternal salvation? Man, maybe I should quit my job and start my own religion. Yeah, normally shouldn't a religion be about salvation and helping people recover from their sin and turning over a new leaf and everything? Based on what the New Truth Society is telling people, there's really no redemption for these ex-convicts or bad people. Can these people that get a notice turn their life around, or once they get this stamp, this notice, this stamp of damnation, it's all over for them and they can't redeem themselves before it's too late? I think people are drawn more to the eyewitness videos than the doctrine. Videos carry more currency with kids these days than anything else. In any case, God or not, it'd be nice if it were true. No, actually no, I don't think so. You know how scary it is? Also, they don't do it covertly or discreetly. They destroy a lot of stuff. Think about all the taxpayers' money it costs to repair all the destruction these angels cause. What? Why? Why would you want this to be true? Think about it. We run around all day trying to lock up scumbags that deserve to be torn limb from limb. But then they get off easy because of a lack of evidence, or temporary insanity, or some other nonsense. But man, they really did tear him limb from limb, didn't they? Our job is to catch people. It doesn't matter if the person they killed was good or bad. It doesn't matter if they murdered someone to save the goddamn world. Our job is to bring them in. No more, no less. His partner doesn't seem to agree with him. Also, this is subjective in a way, right? How much of a bad person do they have to be? Is there a quota? How bad do they have to be to receive a notice? Also, what if it was an accident? What if they did something bad, but it was in the grand scheme of things good for something else? Would they still be targeted and given a notice? How do you decide? How do you judge? Like, who is actually judging? They say God is judging, but it's a really weird way to send these demons, angels, to carry out his work, right? Also, how does the New True Society know this information? Were they chosen? Are they the chosen ones? Okay, so they're directing traffic. They're coming into the crime scene. Welcome to the party. Oh, there's what's left of the victim. Find anything? Nothing. According to witnesses, there was saliva, but we couldn't find any. No footprints either. Wow, it disappeared? They're pretty heavy guys. They should have definitely left imprints in the ground while running away. I hear the New True Society has gathered nearby. Is that what the commotion is? I heard someone on a loudspeaker near the intersection. Okay, they're gonna check out the New True Society. There's a congregation of people across the street, and there is their spiritual leader. He was the guy we saw on the cell phones before. He looks kind of sickly, very gaunt. Looks kind of tired. Okay. Well, so far in chapter 1, we have the police investigating this incident, and they believe it's a hoax. They believe that the New True Society is making up BS, and that this is definitely a murder and not related to divine intervention. However, the main character's partner seems to believe it's true and actually agrees with what's going on. I wonder if there will be like a falling out later or something. Now, let's check out episode 2. Okay. So, indistinct whispering and words. They can see him across the street. He was known as a good, hard-working man. Then he received notice that he'd go to hell in 5 hours. This video was taken exactly 5 hours later. Excuse me, passing through. Pardon me. Ah! 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 Oh wow, everyone's watching. So this is a different victim. He's talking about a different victim who got sentenced by these demons. Angels. The cops are watching from the back. A few days later, 3 bodies were found buried under his home. They turned out to be the victims of unsolved missing persons cases. Oh, so this guy who was killed by these angels had been a serial killer. I see. This picture is from Japan 7 years ago. The victim had a history of assault and fraud. Nicaragua, 6 years ago, kidnapping and murder. All of their bodies bear a resemblance. They were all killed in the same way you saw today, vaporized. And they all turned out to have done terrible things: narcotics manufacturing, robbery at gunpoint, fraud, rape, arson. Now, all these crimes are different levels of immorality though, right? Like, murder definitely has a different connotation than robbery, or arson. There's different levels and there's different sentencings for these different crimes, but it looks like no matter whether it's rape or arson or murder or fraud, they all end up having the same verdict, which is being vaporized. So who decides that they're all worth the same punishment? This guy does. This guy believes they all deserve the same punishment. Why do people sin? Those who supposedly care for others, people who claim that humans are the basis of our values, cite all kinds of reasons. They grew up in a bad environment, or that it's a problem with the structure of our society, a psychological illness, or that they were drunk or on drugs. Where is the individual in these excuses? It's as if they view humans as nothing but empty vessels to be filled with external factors. Sin exists because people want to sin. By denying that fact, we've forgotten shame, guilt, atonement, and repentance. And some even dare to call that civilized society. God is now showing us what hell looks like, clear as day. And God's intent is also just as clear. He wants us to live righteously. Hellbound. So, pretty much what this cult leader is saying is that humans have free will and they made their choice and they have to take accountability. They can't use excuses such as having a bad family environment growing up, or becoming addicted to drugs. They have to take responsibility for the actions and the hurt that they caused. And that sin isn't inherent, but that, well, I don't know. Is he saying that sin is inherent, or that people make the conscious choice to sin and then they have to face the consequences of their actions? This could be a little controversial for some people, Thank you for coming. President Ch.0-3? Yes? Ah, this must be your first time. Actually, we're the police. Here's my card. We want to ask you a few questions. Oh, nice to meet you. But I'm not sure what the police would want with me. Really? I wonder why the police would want to talk to you, the guy who seems to know so much about these cases that the police are working on. We're investigating the murder that happened earlier today. Murder? Oh, you mean the demonstration? So the police investigate the acts of God as well, huh? Well, I suppose to the police, a murder is a murder. He doesn't think it's a murder. He thinks it's divine retribution. So, how can I help you? Huh? Oh, who's this guy? This bowl cut guy. Huh? Oh, he seems to recognize this guy. Oh, they're running. Wait, Jin! What the hell are you doing? Dad! Oh, this bowl cut guy is his kid. Oh, wow. His kid is volunteering and working for this cult without his knowledge. Ooh, this is gonna cause some tension. Let go, you're hurting me. Shouldn't you be at the after-school academy? What are you doing here? Hey, Song-ho. Long time no see. You're going home right now. All right, I'm going. Oh, so he's been volunteering. His kid has been actively involved in the new True Society. Straight home, you hear me? I said okay. Thanks for your help today, Song-ho. Goodbye. Oh, he's on a first-name basis with the detective's kid. He's like, what are you doing with my kid? Why are you talking to my kid for? So you're Song-ho's father. What a coincidence, haha. What is this? What is my son doing here? Oh, we met a few times doing volunteer work. But I didn't know he was here today until just a few moments ago. But if you don't want Song-ho here, Detective, I'll gladly have a talk with him. No problem. In any case, we'd just like to ask you a few questions about what happened today. Actually, I have to go to an interview right now. Do you mind if we talk on the way? Not at all. Please lead the way. Okay. Where are they going? Do you always get around on foot, President Jong? Oh, please. Jinsu is fine. Only members of the society call me that. The members pooled together some money to get me a car, but I prefer the subway. Let me guess. You thought I was one of those money-grubbing cult leaders. I'm not like that at all. That's what a cult leader would say, though. Cults always deny that they're cults. I think it'd be more accurate to think of the New True Society as a kind of study group. Everyone else seems to call you a religious group. Yes, many of them do. But religion is something people need when they've been cut off from God. Just like how our traditional ancestral rites are performed for our ancestors, not for the living. What we do is track down the intervening acts of God and attempt to understand his will. We have no time for prayers and priestly robes. So they're more of an investigative group? And how long have you had this faith? He's like leaning over his shoulder and saying it while breathing down the back of his neck. How long have you been doing this, Jinsu? Faith? With all due respect, detective, it's empirical fact. I'm just taking some statistics. And soon, it'll become common sense. Oh, just like a random ad for Squid Games. A little fitting also. Not that they have the same themes or anything, but like we're reading something spooky and Squid Games is really gory and spooky. But yeah, so in episode 2, they got to speak. They got to listen to one of Jinsu's sermons, and then they got to speak to him. And he believes that it has to do with receiving the wrath of God instead of just some random attacks by monsters. He also believes that people have to face the consequences of their sins, and that he's just doing this as a person interested in learning more about them. He's just studying them. He wants to get empirical data. He's not a cult leader or a religious priest or pastor. And then also, our dear detective's son turns out to be volunteering and somehow involved with this New Truth Society. So I bet the detective is gonna be having a talk with his son later on. Okay, let's read episode 3. Warning, this episode contains depictions of self-harm. Viewer discretion is advised. Hellbound. And how long have you had this faith? Faith, with all due respect, detective, it's empirical fact. And soon, it will be common sense. I grew up in a Catholic orphanage, so I'm familiar with religion. But you know how it is growing up religious. Church is just somewhere you go, like school. Holy crap, it's him! Stop, they're looking at us! Oh, so there's bystanders who recognize him. He's like a minor celebrity. Oh my! President Jung, please take my seat. Oh no, please, there's no need. No, this is a older lady. You can't have her get up so that you can sit. Even they think it's suspicious. They're like, suspicious. Everyone knows his name. How many people know you? Once I grew up a bit, all I could think about was ending my life. Oh. Or maybe I should say, I just didn't find life enjoyable. I spent all my time thinking about how I would end it. I couldn't wait until I turned 20. Why 20? I didn't want people to see my dead body. You know how when you leave an orphanage, you're given some money? My orphanage brothers each took their 5 million won and found tiny apartments. 5 million won's about $4,200. That's not a lot. I mean, with all the basic necessities and renting an apartment or finding a home, that would end up being used up real quick. I mean, I went to look for an open field. Did he have, like, a vision? Or an epiphany? Out there, the vultures will take care of your body. He looks really resigned. Nay! Oh, a passerby. Huh? Oh wow, that guy on the horse was being chased by those monsters. They passed right by him though. They didn't even knock him over. Oh, they grabbed the guy off the horse and he witnessed it. He's like, what the heck's going on? Ooh, the monster looked at him. And that was the moment I found meaning in my life. From that day on, I devoted myself to finding traces of God. After about 10 years, I finally started understanding his will. Where in the open field was he? This can't be in Korea, right? Was he out in the desert or something? As well as what I was meant to do. So he found purpose in investigating these monsters. My duty is to teach God's will to as many people as possible, as quickly as possible. That is all. I have no other motives. By whatever means necessary, right? I'm sorry? I see you have several scars from burns. Ooh, where did he get those from? Oh, these! An apartment in my neighborhood caught fire. Oh, the Changin apartment fire. You're the one that saved the pregnant woman and the baby. I knew you looked familiar. Wow, it's really you. You know what I'm talking about, right? That guy who tried to burn down an apartment because his wife cheated on him? I understand suspicion is part of your job, detectives, but I'm surprised that you would think that a harmless person like me could ever hurt anyone. Ha ha. The arrowheads sure looked like they could. Oh, that extremist group. Sigh. Ah, yes, them. There are those who like to distort my message. They're quite a headache, but they aren't part of my group. And even if they were, it's not like they're the kind of people who would listen to me anyway. Some people say that they are a subdivision of the New Truth Society, but we're not that organized of an operation. To be honest, I think you'll be very disappointed in your investigation, detectives. Like I said, we're basically a study group, nothing more. Like a paranormal investigation group, you know, or like the people that gather together and try to investigate phenomena like Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster. I guess that's kind of like what he's getting at. We're just like sci-fi nerds that are into investigating these paranormal occurrences. We're not a cult or anything. But living a good life for fear of being torn limb from limb, can you really call that righteous or just? What else but fear can make humans repent? Personally, I've never seen anything else work. If what you say is true, then it would seem that God does not believe in human autonomy. Autonomy. Yes, autonomy is important. As a boy, I used to hate going to confession. The bad kids were oblivious to their own sins, while the good kids had to make things up just so they had time to... Wait. The bad kids were oblivious to their own sins, while the good kids had to make things up just so they had something to confess. In the end, the sinners basked in blissful ignorance, while the good ones carried the heavy weight of sin. The man that murdered your wife, do you think he's repentant? He's repented? Repented. Oh, so this is personal for this detective. His wife was murdered by someone. Do you think he's ever hurt as much as your wife? Let alone as much as you or your son, detective? How does he know that his wife was murdered? Did he talk to the son? Would you say that is righteous and just? Oh, that's it? Oh, wow. It was actually getting pretty good, their discussion. We're just getting into the meat of things. Okay, well, that was the end of episode 3. And so far, from what I've seen... Oh, yeah, so to recap episode 3, they're continuing on with the discussion with Jinsu. And Jinsu is just explaining how he ended up finding this path in life. He was suicidal. He didn't want to do anything with his life. He wanted to end it all. But then he witnessed those angels enact retribution on a criminal, on a sinner. And from then on, he realized that he had to let others know, spread this information, and to educate others so that they could lead the righteous path and not end up in the clutches of these angels. So the detective also is really, really pessimistic, right? He's also really suspicious. He doesn't really believe the words that this guy is saying. he's like, do you think this is just or righteous or fair? But Jinsu is saying, well, think about, you have personal experience, right? Your wife was murdered. Was the sinner who killed your wife repentant of what he did, his actions? Wouldn't you want him to burn in hell for what he did, for the suffering that he caused you and your son? So I mean, there are two sides to this coin. There are, there's many perspectives. People can agree or disagree. It could get a little controversial depending on how heated you can get in the discussion. It's also really philosophical about who decides what is right and wrong, and who decides what is sin and the right punishments that should be allocated to sinners. And is there even room for, for repentance and for, I can't think of the word right now. It's like, to turn your life over. There's no chance for these sinners to turn their life around and to, like, make up for what they did. Is it too late for them? If there's no chance for them to make their own decisions, are they really not autonomous? Are they just ants in the cogs of a machine? And when they stray from the path of good, they are eliminated? There's a lot to think about. Food for thought. It's really interesting. I actually really am fascinated by this webtoon so far. So it comes out, it comes out every Tuesday. So one chapter every Tuesday. So I've read the prologue plus the first 3 episodes. I am liking what I'm seeing so far. We got a little bit of gory action. We got a little bit of lore. We're getting backstory right away from the new Truth Society leader. And we're also getting really cool visuals. These are really creepy, like, macabre visuals. Really dirty and gritty in a way. Like, it's really, I get like goosebumps, it's not like, it's very like sketchy and really dark and grungy, and I don't know how to explain it. The art style really fits the theme and the story, and also, again, the color palette, having it in black and white and shades of gray, makes it really depressing in a way. The mood is really heavy and dark and depressing, and you feel a sense of hopelessness. So yeah, I like all the choices that the webtoon has made. Now I am also really excited to check out the Netflix show, which I will be binge watching when I get the chance. Again, I will link it in the description so you can check it out, and I will link the webtoon as well. What do you guys think of this webtoon so far of Hellbound? Are you going to check out the Netflix drama? Are you going to check out the webtoon? I think it's a really good read. I mean, it does have some sensitive topics in it, so if it's not your thing, then, stay away from it. But if you are into stuff like this, then I highly recommend it. I am enjoying the ride so far, and who knows, if people really like this, I might continue to read this webtoon. If not, then I'll just read it on my own time and see what happens with Jinsu and the detective and these angels. Until then, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye!